Here you can see a puff of smoke going through the air. Back in the 60s, everybody smoked all the time, everywhere, and nobody thought a thing about it. Could have been one of the lighting crew up on a ladder or an elevated platform. This is a pretty authentic looking mine, and it wouldn't surprise me if it really was an empty shell of a World War II mine. I had mentioned before about the grenades that a lot of this stuff was readily available in Army surplus stores. For whatever reason, if you wanted to buy them, they obviously didn't explode anymore, but it was probably a lot easier to do that than to try to make an authentic looking prop. I wonder in this case if they replaced one of these firing pins with a wooden dowel rod so that it would break off easier. And also, if you take a look at the fishing pole, it pretty much falls behind this pin. It might tap it on the way down at the beginning. I have a feeling they probably pulled it from behind with a string to make it snap off properly. I wondered if this was kind of a last-minute prop here. These vines that the skipper is cutting down are clearly just ropes with a little bit of grass fastened to them. Here we get to see the jewel cracker box from the black and white episode New Neighbor Sam. We get to see it here in full color. Here's a pretty close scene-to-scene, prop-to-prop matchup here between the girls' hut and the skipper and Gilligan's hut is this table. There are a few differences between them, but there's also a lot of similarities. And you can see the candle in the shell is sitting there too, and they replaced the cabinet. I always thought this was an interesting scene. They did a match dissolve, and you can tell when you look at the scene that there's a little bit of a blur where they match two shots together. But it looks like it really is Gilligan in the dirt both times, not like one of them's a dummy. So I wonder if they had to take two takes and they used the best of two pieces and put them together with a dissolve. Here's one that David Calderola pointed out. You can see a big chunk out of the side of this artificial log here, kind of like the framework or the paper mache. Notice here a little bit of a crew shadow or a boom shadow near the bottom of this shot. Here you can see a black string, which is pulling his necklace straight out and stiff. And then in these following shots, they must have glued a necklace or glued the chain because it's a little bit stiff but kind of rumpled looking, and they could have operated it from the back, making it stick out. And you can see here that the mine does jiggle a little bit when they break free, so it's at least empty, or maybe I was mistaken about it not being a prop.
Ace of Spades, the death card.
Even though Mr. Howell picks up a card from the top of the deck, which we have never seen, he says it's the Ace of Spades, and it looks like it really is. This could have been an easy one to mess up if it was just any random card they had him pick up and the camera was able to peek at it. There's two things in this shot. First, you can clearly see the slanted asphalt poured sides of the lagoon painted. Here is a small glimpse of the aqueduct in back here, along with the camera lineup. This was a well done effect. It's filmed in fast motion, but I don't think it's filmed in reverse. The reason I say that is the dirt off the paddle is flying in the correct direction. It would not look that way if it were filmed in reverse. You don't see anything in front of the raft, but at the very end fade out of the scene, you can see either a pole or a rope from behind, so it might have been that they shoved it forward.